We live in an era of astonishing technological progress, instant global communication, medical miracles, cities that touch the sky. Yet, war remains a persistent shadow, haunting our digital age with headlines of destruction and loss. How can a species capable of such creativity still resort to violence? The same tools that connect us can also spread hatred, the science that heals can also destroy. For every leap forward, our violent history keeps pace. War isn't just a failure of technology or resources, it's a failure of empathy and diplomacy, rooted deep in our nature. To understand why war endures, we must look beyond headlines and confront the tangled web of power, fear, and ideology that drives it. Only by facing these uncomfortable truths can we hope to break the cycle. History is filled with conflict, tribal skirmishes, epic battles, and endless wars. Some argue war is hardwired into us, a primal instinct to defend, dominate, or survive. Ancient ruins and epic tales remind us that violence is woven into our story. But to say war is inevitable is to ignore our capacity for empathy and cooperation. War is not a biological certainty, it's a social invention, a learned behavior. We have the power to choose peace, to reject the systems and decisions that make war seem necessary. Understanding this shifts the conversation from fatalism to responsibility. The roots of war lie not just in our nature, but in the choices and structures we create. War covers a vast range of conflicts, each with its own causes and moral complexities. Some wars are acts of aggression, one nation seeking power at the expense of another. Others are desperate struggles for survival, like the Allied fight against tyranny in World War II. Civil wars, such as the American Civil War, pit a nation against itself over fundamental values. Modern conflicts, like Vietnam, blur the lines between liberation and invasion, ideology and independence. Each war's context matters. What self-defense to one side may be oppression to another. Understanding these distinctions is crucial to analyzing why wars begin. Only by examining the unique circumstances of each conflict can we judge their justification. The moral landscape of war is never simple. Can war ever be just? Philosophers have long debated this, creating frameworks like just war theory. In theory, a just war is a last resort, declared by legitimate authority, for a just cause, and fought proportionally. In practice, these lines blur. One side's defense is another's aggression. Even in just wars like World War II, moral dilemmas abound: civilian bombings, atomic weapons, and the cost of victory. The victors often write the story, framing aggression as necessity. Propaganda and pride cloud judgment, making it hard for citizens to see the truth. The ethics of war are a maze, with no easy answers, only hard questions and lasting consequences. We must question every justification, knowing the cost of getting it wrong is immense. Wars aren't decided by those who fight. They're orchestrated by leaders and powerful interests behind closed doors. Political ambition, national pride, and personal legacy shape these decisions, often detached from the battlefield's reality. The military-industrial complex, an alliance of government and arms manufacturers, profits from conflict. For defense corporations, peace isn't profitable. War means contracts and influence. This creates a cycle: bigger militaries, more weapons, and policies that favor force over diplomacy. The human cost becomes secondary to profit and power. To understand war, we must look beyond soldiers to the systems that make conflict attractive to those in charge. Ordinary people become pawns in a game driven by ambition and greed. Demanding accountability is essential if we want peace to prevail over profit. Technology has changed war, widening the gap between decision-makers and those who suffer. Drone pilots can strike targets from thousands of miles away, detached from the chaos on the ground. For them, war is a video feed. For civilians below, it's terror and uncertainty. This distance makes lethal decisions easier for some, but the consequences remain devastating for others. Generals see maps and data. Soldiers and civilians experience fear, loss, and destruction. The suffering is real even if the trigger is pulled from afar. Technology hasn't made war humane, it's made it easier to wage without facing its horrors. The true cost is still paid in blood and grief. Are we doomed to repeat the cycle of war, or can we choose peace? The forces driving conflict, tribalism, power, profit are strong, but not unchangeable. Realism demands we face these challenges head-on, not with naive optimism, but with determination. Peace requires active effort, democratic oversight, informed citizens, and relentless questioning of those in power. We must invest in diplomacy and address the root causes of instability: poverty, injustice, ignorance. Peace is not passive, it's built through daily choices, empathy, and understanding. The future isn't written. We can break the rhythm of war and compose something new. The challenge is ours. To choose courage over fear, wisdom over violence. Let's strive to create a world where peace is the legacy we leave behind.